Hi everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Robots in Disguise 2001, Rail Racer, the combined form of these three in front of you. That will be the review as a whole, but yeah, I want to show off some stuff as the three of them. So first thing, of course, is in the train mode. Yes, again, like I've mentioned in every the reviews, they have the little hole and a little, the little coupler peg, and yeah, this means they can, you know, put them together, like, you know, a train or something. So you can do that. You can see that. You can all, you know, hook up and roll together. It's not exactly an amazing connection. It doesn't take much, you know, for them to come loose if you're, you know, I guess violent with it, but it's still pretty cool. They can do all that, all do that. And you can see, of course, in comparison with each other as well, different lengths, like that. You can see all that stuff, and there you go on that front. So, real quick, couple comparisons I want to do. Here they are with I say modern train transformer. When I say modern, I mean the transformer is modern. The train itself is actually quite old-fashioned. Astro Train, the Siege version, because the Studio Series one isn't out yet, and yeah, this is a leader class figure, mind you. So you know there's that. But yeah, considering everything, he is significantly chunkier. There's that. And here's a Modern Deluxe, which is, yeah, that's the Sideburn, recent Sideburn, Legacy United, but yeah, Legacy United Sideburn, which this is kind of the closest modern equivalent, because modern Mega class does not exist, and Mega is not the same as Voyager. If anything, Ultra is closer to the modern Voyager. All the Voyager, yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. So, regardless, that's modern Sideburn. And this Sideburn is more complicated than any of these guys are. That's the thing. He is more complex than these three trains. And these three trains had a difficulty rating of 3 out of 4, which is like, okay, sure. So yeah, that's the vehicle mode stuff I wanted to show off. So I'm going to get these guys transformed real quick into robot mode, and we'll do some more comparisons and whatnot. Again, you can see the three of them together in their individual robot modes and how they kind of stack up next to each other. This is a little bit higher. Here you can see shortest to tallest and everything just by happenstance. And yep, that's the three of them together. Again, this is where I think of the three of them, Rapid Run is probably overall the best, which is kind of weird to say considering how much I complain about some of the stuff in Rapid Run. That kind of just tells you some stuff. Railsprite has just this weird thing of just like, he looks just kind of, the massive shoulders really hurt him a little bit, and then you got Midnight Express, who just, yeah, just really disproportionate. But yeah, there's the team as a whole, and again, this is where I want to do some comparison stuff. Again, just because he's here, I already had him. Here's Astro Train as well. Just going to get these guys back a little bit further. And also probably, yep. Yeah, here's Astro Train. Who's not as tall, but definitely denser and more solid and everything. But, you know, leader class up there. Here's the Legacy United Sideburn. Again, complexity-wise, this guy is a little bit more complicated than any of these three guys, and he's, yeah, which is weird considering. And he's a deluxe, and the original Sideburn was kind of a nightmare, but that's mostly because it's like, that's the thing, when you look at the original Sideburn, is like, it's kind of a nightmare just because it's kind of weird, unusual transformation, not because of number of steps or anything. Here's a Studio Series 86 Optimus, just to give you an idea there. This is the line-wide standard. He's taller than any of them, but not by much, considering. There's that. And just because, you know, here's HasLab Omega Prime. Just to give you an idea there. Which I'm pretty sure is not exactly in scale, all things considered. I don't think that's actually in scale, but, you know, there you go. Because that was a problem. These guys were huge in the original cartoon, but I suspect the reason they're this big is in part because, well, they had to scale with a G1 Bruticus who was repainted as Ruination, and so I had to kind of scale with that. But anyway, transform these guys for the combined mode. This one I'm going to show off. Who should I start with? Let's start with Midnight Express because he becomes legs. So we have, first of all, get this gun out of his hand. Right there. It goes in there very tightly. We'll have to come back to that later. Yeah, but then, of course, you take the head here, you go, rotate it up on the hinge and try not to pop it off the ball joint, put it back in there, and then rotate that back around like there, like that, and then take the arms here and collapse those back up into like that, and then underneath like so, and yeah, bring this up like so, and then collapse that underneath like that. Go ahead and flip this thing back up like this, and then collapse this middle part right here like that, and he's ready to go. That's one part. Rapid run here. Actually, no, we'll start with rail spike because rapid run is kind of middle. Again, take the gun out of the hand like that. From here, we'll of course take these and rotate that at the elbow and bring that up right there. Rotate the elbow and bring that up right there. Take the head, rotate that around 180, and then collapse that down. So, and then rotate these up like this, and then bring this up right here like that, and keep it up right here, and then close this up like that. Close the nose cone up around that and tab those together. And that will be right there. And then right back here, what you want to do is take this and close those heels up. Close that, bring the feet down, rotate at that joint right there. And then you slide the hands out right here like that all the way. Slide the hand out all the way. Then bring up this thumb joint and close the fingers like that. Yeah, again, bring up the thumb joint and close the fingers, and notice all this paint flaking off the fingers. And from there, you want to go ahead and split this part. You want to split right here. Split it right here, and then bring this forward. Then there's another hinge right here. You want to bring this part forward and bring it back like that, so it looks like that. See? So see that? See that? So yeah, again, bring that forward and then bring it in like that. And then go ahead and bring the arms down and rotate like this. That, and bring the arm down and rotate like that, and that's rail spike ready to go. And then rapid run right here. Gonna get this gun out of his hand right there. Bring this nose down, close this up right there, and then take the hand here and bring it back like that, and bring this back like so, like that. And then go ahead and bring these back a bit, and then bring this up right here. This, and then you want to go ahead and slide this part. There's a slider, you want to slide that down. This one of a few sliding things that actually locks. Rotate this part around right here like so. And then right here, you want to bring these parts down like this again, and bring the hands up like this. Collapse this inward like so. Bring these back like this. Actually, before you close that down, I almost forgot. Rotate that around, then bring it down like this. And then what you want to do here is close up these heel pieces right here, like that. And then rotate at the forward toe joint like that. You don't want this to collapse. Then you go ahead and bring this down like that. Same thing, rotate at this joint right there, and then bring it down like that. And that, he's ready to go. Make sure that stays back in. Yeah, he's ready to go. So, to put it all together, take rail spike and rapid run here. You can see there's this slot right here that goes over this big old black piece, and these little tabs right here will go to the little those holes right there. Just feed it in like that. Just tab those in like that. Tab it all in like that, and then take these, and you can see these little tabs right here will go into those yellow bits right there, like so. That, and then right here. This right here will peg into the back right here to kind of further, I guess, lock into place somewhat. I say somewhat because, yeah, it's really easy to do that. Say when you're trying to, uncollapse the leg, which just collapsed on you. It's really easy. That doesn't peg in super great. So it's really easy to kind of, yeah. Regardless, though, clearing this up, have, well, Rail Racer in his combined mode. Yeah, so Rail Racer is one of the coolest looking combiners we've ever had in the entire franchise. He just looks really cool. Although you can tell there's definitely some compromise going on, but it's like Rapid Run pretty much only makes the abdomen, and everything else is just backpack. And there's a lot of backpack. And on top of this stuff, there's nothing like, a lot of this is not locked in. It's just floating back there. It's kind of weird. a modern iteration would almost certainly be able to collapse this backpack down or do something so it's not just, chilling out back there, and or at least make it even better heal so he doesn't have a tendency to, lean backwards. That's one of the big things. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, is some of these kind of connections are somewhat tenuous as well. Like, particularly this one. It doesn't, like, it's supposed to clip in, but it's not super good at it, is the thing. It's not super good at staying clipped in, particularly because of the weight. It is constantly pulling backwards. It is constantly pulling backwards, so it tends to collapse very easily, which is a little disappointing. Because he is really cool looking. And that's the thing, is that's the whole thing, is he's really cool looking, but the problem being he is cool look. He's being entirely aesthetic, because as a combiner, he actually is he's got problems. Again, he's back heavy. One of the members doesn't really do much to actually add to the combiner, and yeah. On top of that, all these sliding joints, these are one of the things. The sliding joints, particularly Midnight Express's legs and this one foot, are going to, over time, weaken because of the weight on top of it. Like, this one's nice, but I had a previous one, actually. I used to have another one, which was very well used. And he had a tendency to just his legs would collapse and go to one side, and he couldn't barely stand. I'd have to do a whole bunch to get him to stand. Often I have to just tilt him forward, because otherwise he just refused to stand, because, yeah, he just is everything and worn out so much over the years. He's pretty cool though. Cool looking. I just wish there was some sort of modern iteration that improved on all his faults, including particularly the sliding joints. But his articulation though is actually, again, pretty solid, all things considered. He's a ball jointed heads at left and right. You got up and down right here. All that, you can kind of do that if you want. Up and down and everything. He's got the cool looking, like, he's got this like visor, like speed visor head thing, which makes sense for a bullet train. So yeah, he's got shoulder joints right here. They're forward and back, but unfortunately the bang in the backpack really quickly. So you only got so much articulation there because of that. Outward, you do have, full outward there. You kind of have this joint, I guess, but that's mostly his knee. But yeah, you have a I guess forearm swivel. You have an elbow right there, which clicks and goes almost 90 degrees. Yeah, he doesn't have a bicep, so he only has a forearm swivel, unfortunately. So that's a little bit disappointing. His fingers can open and close, but they're clicky. And his thumb can move up and down. That's something. He has no waist swivel because of how he transforms, or combines, I should say. His hips still, it's Midnight Express's hips, so you still got forward and back, and like that, and they're still nice and clicky. You do still have the full outward and thigh swivels, and the knee joint, which again doesn't do much because of how high up the leg it is. And down here at the feet, you still don't have really much of articulation. You do have this rotation point, and you do have the heel, and I guess a bit of toe technically, but really not a whole lot, and only rotates on one side because the other one can't rotate because of how it works. It can rotate, it just can't rotate like this. You have to be rotating for transformation only. So yeah, he's cool looking, but he really does not. And unfortunately, again, it's because of the way the clicks are. This is your first click for a spread for a wide-legged stance, and because of no ankle tilt, he's very much precariously balanced. So you can kind of get between the ratchets, but it's a little tricky. You can get between the ratchets, but it's a little tricky. So it's often you're just kind of gonna have to wind up having him, combine like this, and hopefully, finding some way to make it so he doesn't either pop apart or fall backwards. Always a fun time. But his weapons can do stuff. This is basically going to become a shield. Just move that down. Now it's a shield, and that can go in his hand. You have to just move the thumb like this. Of course, you get the weird thing, which is they did like something we all learn about, in like when they're in preschool, which is round peg, square hole. Surprise, doesn't work weird. It's kind of a weird, not great grip, but there's that. And these two guns can combine these two guns can combine. And what you do here is you take this piece and you move this down. You collapse this handle back in, and then you take this right here, this little square slot and this block, and you just do that. And now you have kind of weird gun. It's kind of a weird gun, in part because like it's like you see it wobbling. It's not a great connection there. But, again, and it's also the problem of they also get this really, really shallow peg. And, again, it's really shallow round peg and a square hole. And guess what? It doesn't work super great. It doesn't work super great. And on top of that, when he goes in the hand, and then this thing kind of tilts a little bit. And, the good news is, well, because when he has holding his weapons, though, it kind of makes him tilt back forward a little bit. So, hey, there's something. There's some degree of thought put in this, I guess. But, unfortunately, it's just simply a case of he looks cool. He can he's got that thing I've called it before. It's theoretical posability. Whereas like the posability is there, but you can't really utilize it in any real way for the most part. It's kind of tricky to utilize it because of just between the sliding joints and the really just way too much space between ratchets and everything. It's just, it's there, but it's hard to use in any real way that doesn't feel like he's going to fall over. So that's the big problem with him. What's sad is for a long time, this was one of the best combiners, literally one of the best combiners we had in the line until, I would say, Combiner Wars even. A lot of the later ones also had some severe issues. Or the later ones in the early 2000s would have some severe issues. Regardless, as for some measurements for this guy, his height is 9 inches or 22.9 centimeters, and his weight, all three of them and everything, is 14.8 ounces, 418 grams. So he's not exactly lightweight or small, but we'll see in a second. But but comparison stuff, getting into that again. I'm bringing out Astro Train again, but here's Legacy Sideburn. Give me an idea there. Here's a Studio Series 86 Optimus, the line standard, just to give you an idea there. And see, he's not that much bigger. Is that again kind of showing the scale is wacky. Back in the day, here's the modern HasLab Omega Prime, which he is taller than the original Omega Prime, but I believe even original Omega Prime is taller than this guy. So it kind of gives you an idea, because I believe this guy was supposed to be, he was made to scale with the Ruination, which is based off G1 Bruticus, which means you can't really change the size unless you want to do an oversized thing, which that's kind of, you're getting into weird territory there. And I guess one last thing, here's a modern combiner, namely Age of the Prime's Superion, just to give you an idea just how outclassed he is now compared to who also can pose. I mean, it's a frame system, but he can actually pose and utilize those poses and everything. So I don't know. There you go. That's the thing is, unfortunately, Rail Racer here is kind of stuck in his time, in a sense. He's very much stuck. He is very much of his time. He is early 2000s set of figures, and it shows. He's got his articulation is kind of there, but also kind of weird and hard to use. His actual connection joints, the Rail Spike and Rapid Run connect together pretty solidly, but Rapid Run and Midnight Express have a very tenuous connection, and because of Rapid Run being based mostly just backpack, he's also very back heavy, so he's not particularly stable. Add in all the stuff that happens over the years, which is, the joints, all the sliding joints starts to wearing out, he's very much likely to start toppling over one day. So I'm kind of scared. I don't really want to play with this guy too much, just because I'm afraid one day he's just going to, all the sliding joints are going to wear out. So the more you play with it, the more the sliding joints wear out. So it's like, this is going to be probably the last time I ever, play with it. After this, it's going to be, he's going to be on the shelf, and that will be it. I'll very rarely play with it because I don't want these sliding joints to wear out. That's the thing, if any combiner, if any figure I feel like from Robots in Disguise needs a new version, it's Rail Racer. He needs a new version. We need a new version of Rail Racer. I'm hoping we get one at some point. And the only problem is Hasbro seems hell-bent on really are true believers in trains don't sell. So they're really hesitant about this. Now, HasLab might sell. I don't know if we're going to get, at this point in time, we don't know what the 2026 HasLab is, but, maybe. We don't know what it is. I'd love it to be Rapid Run. Or Rail Racer. If it was just Rapid Run, that'd be stupid. Maybe next year. I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm really hoping at some point we do get a new Rail Racer, because I feel like this design, the actual aesthetic, is one of the coolest combiners ever. but he's very ropey feeling. He's really ropey feeling, and he always was kind of ropey, but he's gotten worse because of age. And yeah, literally just the plastic aging has also made his ropiness worse. So if anyone deserves a new version, it's Rail Racer here, and I really wish we get one soon. Even if a third party does it. If a third party does it, that'd also be great, because I think a lot of them would basically, screw it, let's just figure it out. Maybe Fans Hobby, I don't know. Or maybe anyone. I don't know. Mastermind Creations, help us. Because he's cool. That's the thing. He's cool looking, but he just can't do much. And that's a little disappointing. If anything, that's the thing. I think this set of reviews is just a plea for basically a new Rail Racer. That's just what these are. This is a plea for new Rail Racer. Please, I'm begging. The other problem, of course, is simply these guys will run you a lot of money now to get them. If you want the originals in good condition, which at this point almost certainly means they're in a box, we're easy $200 plus for the set, which this guy is not worth $200. Way back in the day, you get him for $45 for total for the whole set, but now it's $200 plus on the aftermarket for a good condition one. Even a so-so condition one is going to run you that much, and I think the price is just going up. We're talking probably closer to the JRX also runs for a good $300-400 easy too. So yeah, the Takara version JRX also runs for that much, but yeah, he's worse in that he tends to break. So yay. Regardless, he's cool, but he's not that cool. And part of me is like, man, I should not have spent that $200, but also part of me is like, was he kind of worth it? Yeah. It's a weird place, because I don't know. It's like, part of me feels like I wasted $200 on this thing, but on the other hand, $240 on this guy, because that's how much it cost me, because they're all in mint and sealed box. But on the other hand, he is kind of pretty cool looking, so I don't know. That's what we really need, though, is we really need a new Rail Racer. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope that you comment and subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and then the video. Check out my Ko-Fi, my Patreon. I shall see you next time with another video review.